The prolonged turmoil in Afghanistan compels one to historically examine the seeds sown of the Afghan conflict and its political actors. The biographical book Night Letters is a thrilling source to delve deep into the history of Afghan conflict. The book is written by Fazminullah Kazizai, a native Afghan journalist and writer, and Chris Sands, a prominent American writer and the director of Wilson Center's Canada Institute. Both authors have done a tremendous job of analyzing the rise of Gulbuddin Hikmatyar and the Afghan Islamists. Their stupendous work reflects their grip on literature and Afghan conflict. The book Night Letters covers the era from 1960s to 2017 in which the authors underline how the communists and the right-wing groups fought against the monarchy, coming head-to-head and indulging in a bloody civil war. Students and their teachers formulated both wings, which played a significant role in the indoctrination of radical ideas among students. On the other hand, Professor Ghulam Muhammad Niazi used his influence to sell and spread the dreams and the doctrine of the Muslim Brotherhood of Hassan al-Banna and Sayyid Qutb. The target for this indoctrination was the students at Kabul University. On the other hand, Najib Babrak Kamal and Suleiman Laik were busy gathering left-wing students under the banner of Khalq and Percham factions to spread communism. The continuous small rifts and ideological differences widened the fault lines. The increased rifts between them led to fight in Zarnigar Park and at Kabul University. The Kabul faction and the Muslim youth streamlined strategies to oust the monarch Zahir Shah. Zahir Shah was toppled from his throne by Dawood's coup d'etat with the help of army generals in 1973. This very coup d'etat motivated the Islamist movement to overthrow Dawood's regime. However, due to secret talks between the Islamic movement's members and Dawood's government, the Islamic movement's coup had failed. The enraged Muslim youth leader Gulbuddin Hikmatyar and then decided to form his party, Hizb-e-Islami. Since the formation of Hizb-e-Islami, the world has been shocked by the wave of radical Islam. The 1978 Saur coup by communists gave momentum to the anti-government movement. The USSR economically and militarily supported the communist government. Soviet Union's troops wreaked havoc in Afghanistan, which encouraged local Afghans to join the Hizbs and Jamiat parties to expel the foreign troops. For this very reason, the Hizbis and the Islamic militants were supported by Central Intelligence Agency and Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence (ISI). Afghan Saur Revolution 1978, the intra-party power game between the communists and the Afghan Mujahideen factions, was one of the main reasons for the prolonged Afghan conflict. In 1979, Nur Muhammad Tarakeh was assassinated. This vicious cycle of power competition in Afghanistan failed to bring consensus among different Afghan factions. The successor of Nur Muhammad Tarakeh, Hafizullah Amin, was assassinated with covert help from USSR by his fellow communists. Nevertheless, Afghan Mujahideen were also divided into groups: Hizb-e-Islami led by Hikmatyar, Northern Alliance led by Ahmad Shah Massoud, and Jamiat led by Rabbani. As mentioned earlier, these factions had one agenda: to seize control of the government. Under the regime of President Muhammad Najibullah, Prime Minister Babrak Kamal went to detention of Hizbis and Hikmatyar. Several Mujahideen were killed and captured in Najib's regime. The denting of Babrak Kamal's government forced to reconcile with Mujahideen in general and with Hizbs in particular. However, North Alliance and Hizb were in contact with the government separately, breaking the Mujahideen's unity. Interestingly, what motivated Hizb's leader Hikmatyar was his global jihad agenda, which had spread across continents. He was not only hosting foreign fighters, but he was also keenly interested in establishing an Islamic caliphate. However, his dreams had never materialized because of so many rivals. What intensified the already hot conflict was the collapse of the Babrak Kamal government. His detention to develop a communist Afghanistan faded away. A new government of Mujahideen was formed in Pakistan's help. Sibghatullah Mujaddidi had installed the interim president of Afghanistan. The newly elected government also included Burhanuddin Rabbani as president and Ustad Abdul Sabir Farid as prime minister. Hikmatyar and Ahmad Shah Massoud were given ministerial posts. After a very short period, Gulbuddin Hikmatyar succeeded Abdul Sabir Farid as prime minister. Despite efforts to create a unified government, The government's high ranks had not subdued their aspirations to sideline their rivals. Eventually, they plunged into a civil war which had brought deleterious consequences for Afghanistan. During the civil war among the Mujahideen, Mullah Umar appeared on the horizon. With no time, he became a popular political actor. The war-torn and badly affected people of Afghanistan supported Mullah Umar to give him some relief. Mullah Umar initially attacked Hizbis and was also behind the death of Hikmatyar. Hikmatyar was pushed out of Kabul into Iran. The Iranian government safeguarded Hikmatyar. The lethal attacks of Islamist radicals caused the collapse of Mujahideen government led by Mullah Umar, the Amir of the Islamic Emirate, in no time and occupied the reign of Kabul. Though Islamist radicalists were in clash with Hizbis, the attacks on America by Al-Qaeda's leader Osama bin Laden gave Hikmatyar a chance to have better terms with the Taliban. Hikmatyar was among the few who were informed about 9/11 by Osama bin Laden. Bin Laden needed the help of Hikmatyar to flee from Afghanistan. After the US invasion of Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden moved from Kabul to Jalalabad, to Tora Bora, and then to Kunar. Hikmatyar also joined him in Tora Bora afterwards. Despite being in Iran, Hikmatyar was the sole person evacuating Al-Qaeda members from Afghanistan to neighboring states. Hikmatyar's presence in front of the public forced Osama and Zawahiri to move to Pakistan with the help of Hizb Islami. Those interested in politics and international relations should read this book to understand the complex dynamics of Afghanistan. It presents lucid lessons for political literates, such as how personal animosity, self-interest, and the greed for power can wreak havoc in a state. One can extract meaningful ideas and bare facts about Afghan society from the insightful book.